Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and me. Unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and Sri Vyasa, the author. Nakshayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And the right revelation to the personality of Godhead, whose grace with transcendental songs
is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. Hold. Speak Guru Mukti. 46, 42. Hare Krishna. So, this is my first class. So, please bless me that I can speak something of value which can help you to progress little bit. And if I make any mistake, please correct me in this at the same point. Yes, definitely. So last we discussed 10.3.22 that was explained by Himanshu Prabhu, and then we went into glories of Govardhan Hill by Maharaj, and yesterday we had an Kirtan outside at Legislative Assembly, and now we are directly going to focus on 10.3.53. But before that, we'll go through what has been happening till now. So anyone would like to provide context?
So we were discussing about prayers of Vatsal. He was offering prayers to the Lord, and after Vatsal, Devaki is offering prayers. So we missed the set of prayers that Devaki is offering. Now the Lord is replying to Devaki.
Yes.
So I think we are discussing.
So Mother Devaki is like praying and glorifying Lord Krishna that you are the supreme controller and you are the time. Basically there are minutes, seconds, hours, but you are above all of that. And you are the one who is left when everything is destroyed as Anantashesh, a part of it. And like that, Mother Devaki is glorifying and praising. And now we'll continue to read from 40 to Maharaj, would you like to read?
Sure. In the next millennium, I again appeared from the two of you who appeared as my mother, Ajiti, and my father, Kasyapa. I was known as Upendra, and because of being a dwarf, I was also known as Vamana.
O supremely chaste Mother, I, the same personality, have now appeared to you both as your son for the third time. Take my words as the truth.
I have shown you this form of Vishnu just to remind you of my previous births. Otherwise, if I appeared like an ordinary human child, you would not have believed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, has indeed appeared.
Both of you, husband and wife, constantly think of me as your son, but always know that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By thus thinking of me constantly with love and affection, you will achieve the highest perfection, returning home back to Godhead.
Sukadeva Goswami said, after thus instructing his father and mother, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna remained silent. In their presence, by his eternal energy, he then transformed himself into a small human child. In other words, he transformed himself into his original form, Krishna's to Bhagwan's Swami.
Thereafter, exactly when Vasudeva, being inspired by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to take the newborn child from the delivery room, Yogamaya, the Lord's spiritual energy, took birth as the daughter of the wife of Maharaja Nanda.
Text 48-49. By the influence of Yogamaya, all the doorkeepers fell fast asleep, their senses unable to work, and the other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep. When the sun rises, the darkness automatically disappears. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, the closed doors, which were strongly pinned with iron and locked with iron chains, opened automatically. Since the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering, Anantanaga, an expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead, followed Vasudeva, beginning from the door, with the hoods expanded to protect Vasudeva and the transcendental child.
Because of constant rain sent by the demigod Indra, the river Yamuna was filled with deep water, foaming about the fiercely whirling waves. But as the great Indian Ocean had fondly given way to Lord Ramchandra by allowing him to construct a bridge, the river Yamuna gave way to Vasudeva and allowed him to cross.
One.
When Vasudeva reached the house of Nand Maharaj, he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. Thus, he placed his own child on the bed of Yashoda, picked up her daughter, an expansion of Yogamaya, and then returned to his residence, the prison house of Kamsa.
Would you like to read?
Vasudeva placed the female child on the bed of Devaki, bound his legs with the iron shackles, and thus remained tamed as before.
Exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her.
Okay, and we are going to focus on the last verse. First we will recite the verse. Yashodananda patni cha jatam param buddhayat natal lingam parishranta nindraya pagasti smriti.
Others didn't get a chance. Should they?
Okay.
Would that be a good coordinator?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that's a good.
Prabhu, would you?
Yasodananda Patni Cha
Yashodananda patni cha. Would you like to read second line?
Jatam Param Abhyutat Yata
Yes. Jatam paramabhutyata. Alex? Natal lingam parishranta
Nidraya Pagata Shmiti.
nindraya pagata smriti. Yashodananda patni cha jatam paramabhutyata natal lingam parishranta nidraya pragata smriti. We'll continue with synonyms, word to word. Everyone together. Yashoda, Yashoda, Krishna's mother in Gokul. Nanda Patni, the wife of Nand Maharaj. Cha, also. Jatam, a child was born. Param, the supreme person. Abhutyata, could understand. Na, not. Talalingam, when the child was male or female. Parishranta, because of too much labor. Nindraya, when overwhelmed with sleep. Apragat Smriti, having lost consciousness. Translation, everyone together again. Exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand that what kind of child has been born to her. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Nand Maharaj and Vasudev were intimate friends, and so were their wives, Yashoda and Devaki. Although their names were different, they were practically non-different personalities. The only difference is that Devaki was able personality of Godhead had been born to her and had now changed into Krishna, whereas Yashoda was unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her. Yashoda was such an advanced devotee that she never regarded Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but simply loved him as her own child. Devaki, however, knew from the very beginning that although Krishna was her son, he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In
Brajbalak.
Okay. Okay, in Vrindavan, no one regarded Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. When something very wonderful happened because of Krishna's activities, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the coward men, the coward boys, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, and the others were surprised. But they never considered their son Krishna the Supreme Personality of God. Sometimes they suggested that some great demigods had appeared there as Krishna. In such an exalted state of devotional service, a devotee forgets the position of Krishna and intensely loves the Supreme Personality of Godhead without understanding his position. This is called Kevala Bhakti and distinct from the stages of Jnana and Jnanamayi Bhakti. Thus, the end of Bhakti Vedanta purports of 10th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Birth of Lord Krishna.
With that chapter is ending. So in translation it is mentioned that exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Mother Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child was born to her. So we know that whenever mother gives birth to child, she goes to a lot of pain, right? And generally it is the situation that she is not that much conscious about what is happening, right? And due to that pain, like they won't understand. And now Mother Yashoda won't even understand. Like before there was Yog Maya, and now there is Krishna there. So she was totally confused and wasn't sure about what type of child was born to him. And it is mentioned in the purport that Mother Devaki, he regarded Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because he showed his four-handed form with Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Padma. So she knew that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But whereas Mother Yashoda, she wasn't sure that who Krishna exactly is. Though she would realize the power or potency that yes, he is the one who is giving pleasure to her and everyone. But she wasn't like sure or clear. And so basically we can see that this Mother Devaki and Yashoda both had different mood of serving or mood towards Krishna, because one knows that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, while the other one, for her, he was just a child, like normal baby of her. So if we see in present time, like what we are trying to do, we are trying to create a perfect world, so-called perfect world. Everyone is trying to create, scientists, researchers, and whatnot. And if we see that to create the perfect world, it is not possible without bhakti. Though we do lot of research, we develop different things, we make different instruments to make our life easier. But if we see and compare to the past, what have everyone like gained in earlier time? Everyone was living happily with small house, a farm, and all. And now they have to work extra shifts, pay loans. Both husband and wife both have to work. Sometimes they keep their parents into the old age homes, and still they are unable to live that satisfactory life. So for progress, people are focusing on karma and speculation, but we know that if we want to really make the world good to live and a perfect world, the only way would be bhakti, right? We have seen that Prahlad Maharaj, he went to the ashram and learned lot of things. When he came back, then his father Hiranyakashipu asked him that what is the best thing that you have learned throughout your schooling or your ashram days. So what did Prahlad Maharaj replied? Kevala Bhakti. I have only learned Bhakti, that is best. Nothing else is of that value to me or anyone else from learning all the things. Right? So, if we go technically, Bhakti can be considered into three divisions, that is Gunibhuta, Pradhanibhuta, and Kevala Bhakti. And according to these three, they can be divided into three different stages, which includes Gnan, Gnanmai, and Rati. What is Gnan? That is simple knowledge, praying by simple knowledge. Another is Gnanmai. What does that include? It have mixture of love and knowledge. Somewhere most of us are trying to be right. We are trying to love and do all the things with love, and we are trying to also gain knowledge about Krishna. And the third one is Rati or Prema, that is pure love. And most of the people, all of the people and things in Braj are in that Bhakti, Prem. For Gnanmay Bhakti, we see a lot of examples in daily life, different yogis and people are trying to do. And for Kevala Bhakti, now we can focus on Kevala Bhakti by considering the pastimes which Lord Krishna performed in Vraj. So basically, Mother Yashoda, it can be considered as Kevala Bhakti. Why? Because she was the one who considered Krishna as only her child, right? Not as Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Mother Devaki, she considered him as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are two distinct things. Now, how did Mother Yashoda treat Krishna? So we know a lot of pastimes and leelas which happened in Gokul, right? So any one of you would like to mention any of it which you feel like they didn't consider Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead and just a normal child? Yes, Prabhu?
When the Kaliya serpent, Krishna was fighting Kaliya, and Kaliya coiled Krishna in his scales. All of the inhabitants of Raja, they thought Krishna was in serious danger, so it was terrifying for them to see him like that, because they didn't realize that Krishna would deal with it so easily, but they thought there was some real risk to him, and that made them very worried.
Yes, true. Yes, Prabhu?
Govardhan Leela.
Yeah. Would you like to elaborate a little bit?
I mean, like, as I mentioned in Burlington, like Krishna is reciprocating with everyone in their own rasa.
Mm.
And then Mother Yashoda was chastising Govardhan to not be heavy on
Yes.
Krishna at all. And then, so treating him like a child,
Yeah.
not understanding he's a supreme. And then the older gopis were taking the credit that you stole the milk and the butter because of which you're holding,
Yeah.
So they were also like seeing him as a child who
Yes.
stole something and taking a benefit of that stolen
Yeah.
material.
Mother Yashoda was also like concerned that Krishna is holding this mountain since long time, his hand must be paining. Then the other gopas, they were giving support by the sticks. Like it is whole mountain and they are supporting by stick, that Krishna might feel less weight. So that is another pastime. Anyone else? Yes.
I remember something from Burlington as well. Like while Krishna was lifting that mountain, Mother Yashoda was like, no, it's not him. It's like
Yeah.
Nanda is lifting
Yes.
it. It's not Krishna. He's just imitating like that. He's holding that. So that I found funny, and like that's like how they treat Krishna.
Yes, true. Is my Prabhu.
Damodar Leela.
Exactly. We sing every day.
Mother Yashoda is trying to bind the Supreme Personality of God,
Yeah.
not understanding, like, how can you bind him? He has no beginning, no end, he's unlimited,
Yes.
Krishna is everything. And still, she's thinking that, oh, I need to correct him.
Yeah.
He's getting spoiled. So, for his betterment, I need to bind him. So
Yeah.
that is just amazing. Like,
And every time mother was trying to tie him, the rope was 2 inches less. And she kept on trying. And we sing it every day, right? The second line, Rudandam hur netram yugam richantam, karamboja yugmena sandaka netram. That Krishna was terrified. There was fear in Krishna's eyes. Like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is controlling and creating and maintaining everything, he has fear in his eyes. That is again a part of Kevala Bhakti that is only observed or felt by the Brajvasis and them. Yes, we do sing every day and we try to feel like how is Krishna fearful of anything, right? Yes, Prabhu.
There's a very nice pastime in Govardhan Dana Ghati temple where that's the point where gopis collected the tax from Krishna. Then there's the Lord like who's providing
Yes.
everything, and they're collecting the tax from the Lord, or it's like his friendly exchange with Madhumava, who ties his feet to Krishna's feet. Like no one
No.
would do that
Yeah.
to the Lord. But he ties his feet to Krishna's feet.
Yes,
That's
true.
very sweet.
Yes, Prabhu.
When Krishna killed that demon at Yudhishthira,
Mm.
then the gopis denied to go closer to him,
Yes.
saying that he is impure now because
Yeah.
he's killed a bull. So, I mean, Krishna is the purest of
Yes.
all, and because they loved him, they were considering him as an ordinary person.
Yes, Prabhu.
One last one.
Yes.
Um, when Krishna steals the ring of Radharani,
Mm.
then Vishakha not only like confront, but like she actually aggressively checks Krishna when
Yes.
the ring is found. So no one
Then
will
the-
do that with the Lord.
Yes, then they took their murli.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Also, yes, Prabhu. Well done.
My favorite pastime of Putana. Now Krishna killed the whole big demons. She was just, they say Govardhan is 7 coos big, right? And then Putana was 6. So she was super big, and then they're thinking, oh, it's Narayana who saved him. And as soon as gopis, Krishna came back from Putana's body, gopis are taking him to cows and they are using its tail to remove the evil eye.
Yeah.
And they are making Krishna bathe in cow urine and all sort of stuff.
Yes. We see Krishna killing lot of demons, as Prabhu said, right? When they went into the cave, there was actually a serpent. Then also something similar happened. They were like, Krishna is there, but what will Krishna do? He can do everything. He don't have to do anything in one sense. And we see Krishna kills so many demons, right? And still what the Gopas do? Come on, Krishna, let's wrestle. They want to fight with Krishna. So there is different mood they are having with Krishna over there. Another thing, like, do you think that Mother Devaki would feed anything when she is having some meal or something? Mother Yashoda would. Like when Mother Yashoda would have his dinner or food, if he sees Krishna, then she will give a bite to him. Can Mother Devaki do? No. She knows that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so she won't do it. But for Mother Yashoda, he is just his son. So he'll definitely feed him as much as he can. Right? And so, while the one more pastime which we missed, that is while Krishna was eating dust.
No, I was about to say. Can I?
Okay, yes.
Okay. So when Krishna, when Mother Yashoda was actually inspecting the mouth of Krishna and she saw the entire world, she's still not realizing who Krishna is, and she thinks that, oh, until now my son used to eat dust, now he has eaten the whole world.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And after all of that is done, Mother Yashoda was, for a while she was thinking that, oh, what is this? How is this happening? And then Mother Yashoda was like, no, I'm just overthinking. She was like, Krishna, don't do this next time, okay? Don't do it. It was simply that. And yeah, about killing demons, there were big demons. And after Krishna kills or does something like this, everyone was like amazed. Oh, Krishna did this. How did he kill this much big demon? And they were like they get surprised by this thing, but they don't know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They don't treat him like that, right? The one example would be from our new Instagram page, Wisdom Works, which Manil Prabhu uploads regularly. And you remember he uploaded one quote or thing about money and a person who is rich. No one? Okay, maybe about 3 days ago. So it's like if someone have a lot of money and then a small amount won't make difference for him. Let's say that someone is considered Moil Prabhu, he is a millionaire and he is donating few millions to temple and different places regularly. Then we'll know that yeah, he is rich and he can do it. And but on the other hand, what if we find someone who is not that much rich and he makes a donation, right? Then we will be amazed. So this is also something similar. Like they don't know what opulence or how strong Krishna exactly is. They think is Krishna is just a normal kid, just a normal child, and so they were amazed, like, oh, how is he able to do this? But if they know the truth, then it would be different, right? Also, while separation, now this is about different pastimes and leelas happening and different bhav that people had. Now, what about separation when Krishna left Vrindavan? And this bhav, you won't see this in Mathura or else Dwarka. This is only there in Braj. While Krishna left Braj, we know uh, how the environment or surrounding was, right? Everyone was burning in mode of separation. And Acharya's quote that the trees of Vrindavan, they would burn because of the separation. But what kept them growing or kept them? The continuous flow of the tears of gopis. We know we need to supply water to stop something from burning, right? So Acharya's quote that trees would burn out if gopis would not cry continuously. So both were crying in separation. One was burning, other was crying, and that kept each other going throughout the way. And yeah, so other thing, the trees of Vrindavan, Vraj, how does it have significance or value? So Maharaj was quoting the other day that now people are cutting trees and because of construction or whatever they want to progress, making good money. Vrindavan is a dham, lot of people would be visiting, so they want to develop it in a materialistic way. So why these trees are from such long time? There are trees, there would be, and there are for sure, I think. There are trees which have seen Goswamis and Mahaprabhu over there. Who, when they visited, they have seen them by themselves. And now what we are doing, we are cutting them. So we are losing the chance of getting mercy. We can get the chance to see the trees which Mahaprabhu and Goswamis had view of, the same tree, right? And we are lacking out of that mercy. And we know that we need mercy to progress in our sadhana or practices, whatever we are trying to do, right? So, how do we get mercy? One is sadhu sangha and devotees and acharyas, right? So we are trying to get that. Now we do chanting regularly, we do hearing, and we try to gain and go into like higher good mode of goodness, coming out of mode of passion and that, right? So how does this work? This hearing, chanting, and seva, this gradually purifies us. This process is not like instantaneous. It will take some time. Like the water filter, we used to do the experiment while we were kid, right? We like school teacher used to give us assignment that this is dirty water. You have to pour this and make it filter. How we used to do? We used to make layers of sand, stone, and small, and then plastic. And while pouring that, slowly and gradually, it purifies and it becomes pure and clean water, which we are able to drink. This is also something similar, that we try to get this into this mood, and slowly and gradually we will become purified and pious. Now, sometimes we might ask that someone is hearing since some long time and he is not that much progressing. So for that we can consider main 2 points. The first one is starting point, that we don't have same starting point. We think that he is doing this since long time from this time, and he just came and he's doing good. But we know that he might have done it in his previous lifetime, right? And other thing which stops is offense. We read offenses in the morning, 10 offenses, and if we commit that, then it is another thing that will hinder our progress or make it slower. Now, how can we go further? Basically, we can still keep doing. Hearing and chanting are so pure that if we commit a offense, it will still help us. But don't do it intentionally. If we are doing it intentionally, if we have committed it by mistake, then we will get purified and become pious. But if we are doing it intentionally, it is an act of criminality, what it is stated in our shastras, right? Now, how can we get better into this mood? We need to realize that how can I serve Krishna, right? That is the main aim. We want to serve Krishna in the best possible way. So if we realize that, then we become liberated. People are trying to get liberated, right? But it is stated that if we realize that I need to serve Krishna and he is the supreme controller and enjoyer, at the same time we will get liberated. There is no need of doing anything. But we are not looking only for liberation, right? We are looking for Krishna prema. So only liberation is not that hard in bhakti. Still, it is somewhat hard, but not that much. But yeah, he is liberated until what time? Until he changes his decision. If he is thinking Krishna is supreme and I shall serve him in all aspects, then he is liberated. And as soon as he will divert from that thing, he is not determined, then he will lose that thing. Yeah? And we see that determination, how is it so important? We cannot be determined to anything like so easily. So why is it hard? One thing would be the sins we are accumulating since long time. We are just keeping on. We are just adding those sins, and now we got the chance that we can purify ourselves. And so now to purify ourselves, we are working on it. And again, this thing how it works, the water analogy I would use again. The glass, dirty glass, which has dirty water and which is collecting dirt from long time. Now how can we purify? We just turn on the tap of good and fresh water, keep adding it, keep adding it, keep adding it. After a good time, the water will be fully purified, right? Simply by just adding the pure water. So we are trying to do that only. Now, when we realize that Krishna is supreme and he is my Lord and I am his servant eternally, and this thing, if we realize, that can instantaneously clean ourselves and we can get free from all the sinful reaction. Like, is it possible that we get freed from all the sins? Yes, it is possible. Prabhupada gives the example of sun and fog. That as soon as sun appears, the fog will vanish, right? It won't take long time as much as it take in that water. But yeah, getting this realization is hard and time consuming. Now, what can we do to obtain or go through this route? So basically, we do chanting, hearing. Other thing we do is service, right? But service, how we need to do? With love. With love and faith. We need to serve and do all the services with love and faith. We have to go beyond our limit in one aspect. That when we need to exhaust ourselves, basically. Yeah, keeping ourselves in mind that we are in physical body, we have to consider that, but exhaust ourselves. We shouldn't get time at 9 o'clock. Oh, let me go here or let me do this. At 9, our body would be like, okay, Vatsal, sleep. Or we need to be like exhausted that, okay, now I cannot do anything. Now I have to sleep. We'll sleep by that time. We'll again wake up early in the morning. So doing more service. And yeah, another thing, this is the chance when we are getting to serve. Because once we hit old age, we won't be able to serve at this capacity. we see lot of example devotees in our ashram, right? Jai Shri Prabhu, Dakshin Prabhu, and they quote this, that old age is not so good. So this is our chance to serve as much as possible and do that thing. And yeah, we have to be consistent. Like every morning when I chant upstairs, there is a leaf of tulsi which on the starting, I saw it on the starting of Damodar month, it was this much, just a tiny kind of sprout, and now with each and every day it kept on growing little bit, little bit, little bit, and now it is somewhat this big leaf, if you see. And now we know that one day it will be at the lotus feet of Krishna at 7 a.m. while we are taking darshan, right? So it's like that, like every step in bhakti, it counts. With all the steps we take in the bhakti, it will slowly and gradually get us out of this material body and material speculations. Also, so these are some of the ways we can go to the bhakti, right? And we know Krishna is supreme, and he, today we read the last verse, right? He shall be my Lord, however he treats me. But we read it, we just hear it. But how many times do we realize that thing? Something doesn't go our way, then we don't realize at that moment. But while we read, okay, for a while. And it is true that, see, everything, every success we get is to test the person. God gives that success or joy to taste that person, and every time he gives him sadness or failure, then it is to teach him something. But we don't remember that very often. Every time we forget it. So it is important that we keep that thing in our mind, right? And now it's 9:18. We will be moving towards the end. So like we discussed all these things, and now one another thing, faith. It is also an important aspect. On the faith, one example is from Ramayana. Angada, he went to Ravan, and what he challenged? He had faith in Lord Ram, and by taking the name of Lord Ram, he kept his feet, and he challenged, any one of you can move this, lift this leg of mine, we will surrender. I was like, what? This much big wording and challenge, but he had that faith in Lord Ram. No one was able to move that leg, right? So we need to have faith as strong as him. Now we'll end this with last few things which I had just written exit. So we discussed different bhakti. Now by knowledge we can pursue transcendental bliss, but without variation. If we have knowledge, we will get transcendental bliss, but not variety in that. A kind of monotonous, simple, right? Then another is Gnanmayi, that is transcendental opulence of personality of Godhead. We will understand what is the transcendental opulence God have. And the third one, that is pure love or prema, that is that time when we realize the transcendental form as Lord Krishna or Ram. That is what quoted in the verse before, that is 10:331, if you want to go through it then. And yeah, that's pretty much all from my side. Please correct me.
Josh, thank you. Sweet. Thank you very much. Great. I'm impressed. A couple of things I wanted to say. Just going to the theme of the verse here. Exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her. Now we're talking about what kind of child. I mean, that can be interpreted a little bit. He's not an ordinary child, that's one thing, but also there was a little bit of concern about what gender. So I had the task, we put this play together, it's called The Eighth Child, that's what we called it. And there was a controversy, we put it to like a controversial level. We had Brinjabasi say, oh, I thought it was a girl, you know. And others said, I thought it was a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. And then for a little comic relief, I think we had Yashoda, she just took the just to confirm. And now, so that's one thing, and when I was raised Catholic, and there's one book that our neighbors had, who were also Catholic, and there's a story in there about some, if I remember correctly, a Christopher guy, and he carried a baby across the river. It's not Jesus, it's not Krishna. And he carried the baby, for what reason, I just can't remember exactly, but the baby got very heavy, and he prayed that it would become light, and it did. And that's what I remember about the story. So when I came to Krishna consciousness, I said, Vasudeva took this baby across the river, and similar kind of stuff is going on here. Wow, there's some amazing parallels here. And it was a story not necessarily about Jesus. It wasn't really defined who the baby was, but somehow or other there are similarities here.
Yeah.
And are you familiar with the story at all? Anybody raised by Christians? And you ever heard it before? I really have to get my hands on that book and go through it again and understand its origin. Every day there's about 10,
Yes, we see a lot of parallels in one sense, right? But there are a lot of similarities in different books of different groups, but we see some part will be there from our Bhagavatam or Gita. That is nice. Basically, the concept is trying to be same, but at different levels. Yes, Prabhu.
So, you mentioned how will I, this is a very important question, how will I serve Krishna? And just yesterday, Purushottama and I were talking about, so amongst devotees, in general, there is always a curiosity that, what is my eternal swarup? Everyone wants to know if they're gopis, if they're this, if they're that, and but we're just reflecting that we don't know for sure if this is correct or not, but it's a reflection kind of question. It's like, even when we think that what's our eternal swarup, we're still thinking about yourself. Like, how do I look like? Am I a gopi? Then can I just dress up like a gopi? Am I a mother? Can I just chastise everyone? Knowing that. But when you say, how will I serve Krishna, that is with love and faith, then I think an idea comes to the mind that if the mood is more like, I will do anything for Krishna. Let's say I live with, yesterday I asked a question, how does your home look like? So if home is where Lord resides, if my Lord needs a chair, I'll become the chair. If my Lord, my Lord's cook did not show up, then I'll cook for the Lord. If my Lord needs a friend, I'll become the friend. If my Lord needs a pen, then I'll, become the ink. I don't know. So I guess your question just kind of confirmed my reflection that, when we serve Krishna with love, because if I have love, I'll do everything for Krishna. Right? There are some friends, right, who offer their back to sign something, right? So they become the table, they become the desk.
Yeah.
So and knowing that I'm doing this for Krishna, it's very nice. Because when you also say, how will I serve Krishna, I think the goal is that if he is happy, my existence is validated. Otherwise, why do I exist?
Yeah, true.
Right? Why would I exist? I'm supposed to be enjoyed
By Krishna.
by Krishna, not by anyone else, but by Krishna. So.
True. Another point is that Prabhu brought about love. We all hate chemistry almost, I think.
Yeah.
But someone remember the word catalyst?
Yes.
Yeah, so love is kind of catalyst in our progress to bhakti. It might involve directly or does not involve directly, but if it is there, it will boost the process. It will boost like anything. It will help us to grow faster. So find that love in all the things that you do for Krishna. Thank you.
I just want to mention a few things that I really liked and it touched my heart. One thing that you mentioned is doing devotion with love, devotional service with love. So I wrote down, we need to do devotional service with devotion. Because many times we do service, but the main part, that is devotion, is missing.
Yes.
So it's a very good reminder. And then you give the analogy of leaf. That was mind blowing.
Tulsi.
Yes, Tulsi.
Clear.
It was just amazing, like how, it takes time for that leaf to grow. You need to water it, you need to take care of it, and then when eventually it grows and it reaches a level, then it is plucked and then offered to the feet of the Lord. So in a similar way, we are, growing
growing
little by
slowly,
little.
one
And
day.
it will take time, for sure. It will take time for us to reach a level where we could be offered to the Lord and will directly engage with
And-
Him.
yes.
So that is a very beautiful analogy. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, I think that's Maharaj,
Anything?
something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thanks for talking about devotional service. It's all about love. Sometimes we experience that it's not always devotional service, but emotional service. You ever experienced that before? There's a lot of people, they want to temper their emotions with a little bit of gyan, being practical also, And so one has to be careful about that. But although there's feelings in devotion, there's no doubt about that. But it has to be regulated
Yes.
by thoughtfulness, right? So
Yeah.
that's really important. Don't let it be emotional service. We've seen people being very emotional
Yeah.
when they're not, and it's not devotional.
Yes.
We could make a distinction here.
Yeah.
It was very nice actually.
So this is something like we need to do the thing which is required, not always with emotion, but sometimes with logic and devotion. Not with emotion, but the demand of the time and situation, we need to do that thing with love. Like that is the important thing, right? If we like to do something, we'll do it with love and affection, right? But if it's something which we don't like it that much, then it is hard to find that, right? That is the moment, like we need to develop love for that thing also, which we are not that much comfortable. So thank you for sharing that.
I'll give you an example. It won't
Yes.
take long. There was a family regularly donating all the sugar, white sugar, for whatever it's worth. I won't make any comment about that, to Rath Yatra, And every year they were doing it.
Yeah.
And then someone else came in one year and said, we would like to help with sugar. And then the family that was the regular, they got all emotional. And, oh, we've been doing it for, it's a tradition.
Ironically, it was sweet, right? So they were supposed to be sweet.
Yeah, that's,
Irony.
I know when you're talking about.
Oh, really? Okay. I will check here. And the whole meaning of devotion got, trashed, you could say, because, you're supposed to be doing this thing out of love, and they didn't want to share. The original donor didn't want to share. That could have been nice negotiation. The issue wasn't like that. It was all just emotion. Oh my God. Fireworks.
That's all. Thank you so much for listening. If I added a line which could be useful to you, it's all because of you and Acharyas. And if I made a mistake, please forgive me. And you can chastise me. Where is Prabhu?
Thank you.
Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Vancha